So my focus today is going to be to talk to you about using Lean and Agile to get more efficient in organizations. In a general sense, that's process improvement, and I'll dive into the details of what that means. You can be consistent without accurate, right? So a lot of times when I come to an organization, their processes start kind of like this. Maybe I've got 10 people doing one thing 10 different ways, or one person who does it 10 times and does it a different way each time. And yet sometimes one is on target, but they're all over the place. This is really hard to improve. How would I improve this, right? If we're talking target shooting, the answer is, I don't know, just keep practicing. Like, that's all you can do with it. So it's inconsistent, inaccurate, unpredictable, and totally unscalable. To be able to scale, you need to be able to repeat, you need to be able to train others to do it. So a lot of times the first step of the process is to get it to look like this. Yes, we're off target, but we're off target by the same amount every single time. Right? So in target shooting, you've created a cluster. You've got a tight grouping is what you're after. So now we're consistent, but we may not be accurate. And I'll tell you, that's fine. That's a beautiful first step, because now I can make little adjustments in the process by adjusting the instructions, by adjusting the sites, whatever it is, to move that grouping. So at this point, we've already become consistent, predictable, and scalable. I would question whether or not I should scale it if I'm off target, right? But you could do it if you wanted to. Then the second step is we become accurate and consistent. So once we've written down our processes, we're doing the same thing the same way every time. Now we make adjustments. The bottom line to this whole thing, you can't improve what you can't repeat. If you can't repeat it over and over, you cannot make it better, right? You've got to be able to do it over and over again. That's really the bottom line to keep in mind when we're talking about Lean and we talk about a process. You look at every step and say, would my customer pay for this step? So you can see that this particular one is 96% NVA, non-value added, 96% waste. Now I'm going to take a quick detour. What would happen if I just came in and automated this just like it is? What would that mean? I automated 96% of my waste. I'm wasting even faster now. That's awesome, right? So the first thing we should do, I love automation, huge fan of automation, of AI, and all these great tools that are coming out. But you've got to move through a process. I just use an acronym that doesn't spell anything, but it's ERCA. Eliminate steps, reduce waste, combine things, and finally automate. Eliminate, reduce, combine, and only at the end automate, right? Muda is broken down into 8 wastes. 8 wastes is this guy named Tim Woods. We all hate Tim Woods. He's a problem. All right, transportation. Moving something from A to B. Putting a piece of cargo on a truck. Putting it on a conveyor belt. Moving it from the back of the room to the front of the room. Moving a thing. That's important, because later we'll talk about something else. What's it in the digital world?
Data.
Yeah, email. Storing files. Putting them around on different drives. Thumb drives, if you still do that, right? Moving data around. Every time something moves, you should question, is that value added? Do I need to be doing that? How could I reduce or eliminate that need for that move? How about inventory? What would that be physically? That's pretty easy. Inventory counts everything along the way. So in the manufacturing line, all the stuff on the line is inventory or WIP, right? In the digital world, very similar. If I'm making a document, if I'm making a piece of software, or if I'm making software, the other inventory is features I make that nobody uses, right? That's just inventory. It's money sitting on the shelf. Little piles of dollars just chilling out, not working for you, not making anything, right? Now, transportation was the movement of stuff. So what do you think motion is? Movement of people. A person walking from here to there. Physical environment, right? Move into a different office. Walk into a meeting, that's movement. How about in the digital world though? If I'm not walking around, if I sit at my desk all day, I got no motion. How many different systems they have to Alt-Tab, Control-Click, 5 different screens? Where are they having to physically move their mouse? The easy one, waiting. What are the 2 things that can be waiting? People and product, right? Either one. Any waiting is bad, but some of it you can't. Like if I'm waiting for an external vendor, okay. But can I talk to them? Can I rearrange my process to not be waiting for them? What can I do about it? Waiting for approvals is a big one in the kind of digital space, right? Oh, 12 different people have to approve this. Why? Really? Over processing. Physical example would be, giving it 8 coats of paint when after 3, it's really done. You're not making a difference. This is kind of gold plating things, if you will. What could it be in a digital world? I think I gave the example already, but what would over-processing be in a digital world? Reports nobody reads, features nobody uses, contracts nobody reads. How about overproduction? Making too much, right? That leads to more inventory, right? So you're building ahead. Why is overproduction the worst waste on here? Yes, you've hit it. So every time you overproduce, you've re-invoked every other waste in your process. What about defects? Pretty easy in the mechanical world, right? I made it wrong, the bolt doesn't fit, it's crooked, it's wrong color, whatever. And in the software world is easy, right? It's a defective piece of software. And bad documents, bad processes, right? Incorrect sales quotes, incorrect invoices, marketing that's misleading, whatever. There's all kinds of defects. And it's skills underutilized. Where we're aiming with this is something like, having your senior engineer writing low-level code, right? Or having your VP of sales working on a $3 deal. So how do I get more people engaged in the creative process? And how do I use people at the appropriate level, delegate where appropriate, and all things like that? When I do exercises with this in groups, they're like, well, is this overproduction or overprocessing? I don't care really. These are just lenses to help you look at it. Do I care if you call it the right one? Nope. All I care is that you found it and we decided we should eliminate it. Right? I like to use this word, relentless improvement. I feel like it has a different connotation than continuous improvement. What do you guys think? When I show you what Agile is, what are things that have you guys heard things about Agile in the software world? What are some general ideas you've heard about it? Anybody know anything? Oh, we ship a new product every 2 weeks and we have to meet every day, and yeah, those are one way to do it. But when I show you what Agile is, which everything of Agile is in the next 4 slides. It's just a mindset, a philosophy. It has no procedure to it. Overall, what we're trying to do is deliver the right thing faster by responding to change, not by going faster. Okay? Then there's ways to do it, Scrum and Agile. Scrum and Kanban being the 2 most common. But Scrum and so here's your SAT thing for the day. Scrum and Kanban are to Agile as Honda Civic is to automobile. So the first one, we value individuals and interactions over process and tools. So this is meant to combat that. We want to value individual interactions, the things that they need to do, but we need tools and processes. There's really great tools out there. And yes, I love Post-it notes, but you don't run $1 million company on Post-it notes. Second one, we value working software, or really we value working product, think of it that way, over comprehensive documentation. So what we want to do here is create something that works and document it properly. So this is a little bit about what do you do first? A lot of documents or make it work? Collaboration over negotiation. What are the 2 kinds of parties at the end of a negotiation? There's a winner and a loser at the end of a negotiation. I beat that guy up and got the best price. Oh, that guy was a sucker. I got so much money from him, right? We really want to focus on collaborating. How do we connect with our customer, take them on a journey with us? And then the 4th one, responding to change over following the plan. This is another one where Agile extremists will abuse it. They'll say, oh, we don't make plans, we just start doing stuff. Cowboy coders is what we call them. But that's not the deal. We make a plan, but then as we're executing, we change the plan as necessary. 10 is one of my favorites. So what do you guys think? So 10 says, don't do your work, right? What the heck? Yeah, 10 is aimed at engineers. 10 is aimed at engineers. Stop gold plating the thing.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. Customers will use it like it is. Let it go, right? So 10 is really aimed at engineers. A little bit of product managers also. Don't request 12 features that they don't need. The other one, I'll touch on 12, Will, but the other one that most people will talk about is 8 because of the word it ends with. Indefinitely. 8's aimed at firefighting. You shouldn't be firefighting, you shouldn't be eating bonbons, you should be nice, constant pace that you can just maintain until you die because we work until we die, right? That's the indefinitely one there. 12, at regular intervals, we reflect. So this is, if we go back to Lean, this is called Hansai. It's looking in at yourself, looking in at your team, and figuring out what can I do better at an interpersonal level, at a procedural level. And really, this is one of the ones that ties back to Lean, because we should look through a Lean lens at what we just did for the last 2 weeks, the last month, the last quarter, and say, how can I make it better? Even if I'm great, how do I get greater? What do? I help companies use what I just showed you, which is, to say skimming the waters, even that's an overstatement, what I just did with this stuff. That always involves change management, so I coach teams and leaders through the change, and that's where Legos come in. I'll help that with some change management, some leadership coaching, some team development, and I'll do standalone leadership development and team building events as well, right? So if you just want a fun event for a team, reach out. I'll bring a crap ton of Legos and we will play and have fun. So kind of a call me when, if you've got something that's too owner-centric, so they're not able to grow, or if they're trying to exit and they get no valuation because the owner's got to do everything, Lean and Agile can help fix that. If delivery can't keep up with sales, so if you get their sales engine cranking and they're like, oh crap, we've got to deliver all this now, I can help with the delivery side. If they're losing money because of defects, right, between Lean and Agile, we've got ways to fix up defects. Individual teams or leaders not performing, or they're new and they need to be built up, or you just want a fun team building event. If you go to this QR code, it takes you to my link tree, and I think the second or third thing down says download the 8 wastes. So it's a PDF, and it's got 1 page per waste, and then this kind of self-evaluation chart